Okay, truck patch. Don't look at my grass. I haven't mowed it yet this week. Hoping tomorrow it's down to 85. I have come out a couple times and harvested peas and beans. Beans are ready to be harvested again. This first row here, my volunteer tomatoes. And we have tomatoes on the vine, my strawberries. Basil's looking good. Red peppers. This one does not. Oh, it's got a couple tomatoes. I'm thinking this might be a brand new one. This one has tomatoes all over. This is a lemon boy. And it's getting pretty tall. And that's a cotton plant from last year that I'm letting it use as a support for a tomato stake. And then I'll show you my beans. There are beans all over. They need to be harvested off of there. Oh gosh, they're so good. Oh, and look, I have an orange gladiola. So pretty. And there's my pink ones. Oh goodness, I have strawberries all over the place. There's probably a bunch of them in here. Yeah, they're all over in here. Tomorrow I'll give some of them another day because they're not quite ripe enough. Potatoes, it stormed like crazy. Look at the pretty butterfly. On my marigolds, I have a pollinator. Yay, I need you. I need you in my garden. Isn't it beautiful? And look how big my marigold has gotten. And my store-bought ones are still teeny tiny. Oh, rain last night. And I have another plant. I gotta try to stand back up. I might lose this one. Okay, this is the far end of my truck patch, and as you can see, my zucchini cougrette's doing quite well, and those tomato plants all through there are my volunteers, and that one's aroma zucchini. These are my ruby eclipse sunflowers, onions and garlic, red tomatoes. And there is my sunflower, and it's laying flat and sticking straight up. Oh, I'll fix that later. And look at that. It's growing right along there, getting pretty tall, taller than me now. And I harvested all the peas off of here. These are my black-eyed peas. And my corn and beans, and I have some cayenne peppers that are on the vine. Hang on, I'll show you. Let's see. Peppers. That one over there has little peppers. That one there has some peppers. And this one here has little pepper. I have tomatoes. Lemon boys all over the place in there. My late start Russian mammoths. Excuse me. That is my velvet queen. And that one right there is my Russian mammoth. I do believe it's starting to form a head on it. Let's see here. And we have some Japanese beetles. This is my yellow squash, and I see I already have squash bug eggs on them. Yippee. I had to fight those last year. It was never ending. Oh, and I have some more peas here. They weren't quite ready the last time I pulled them off, and one or two are ready, but I'm gonna give it another day. We have more rain coming, and I'll pull them off. And look at all the tomatoes on this plant. Isn't that cool? Okay, there's my pink gladiolas. That's a golden jubilee down there on the end. And this is one that I air pruned. And we have 8 tomatoes on that one right there. This one is a lemon boy. And I really need to get the suckers off of there. I have some jalapenos over there on the vine. And look at all the tomatoes we have in there. There's a bunch over there. There's a bunch right here. These are all lemon boys, and I do believe I have some pickling cucumbers on the vines. Okay, looking at it from the front end. Yep. See my marigold? See how tall that sucker's getting? It's like they're competing against the sunflower. Who's gonna get taller? Who's gonna get taller? My gladiolus here are about ready to bloom. That one not quite yet. Asparagus, lemon balm, catnip, bee balm, and let me find. I have some little blooms in there. I did see a pepper earlier. Where was it? Oh, right down there. Yay. These are 4 o'clocks. Green peppers back here. Okra next to it. And there's looking that direction. Okay. We have a big bumblebee wandering around my tomatoes, so I'm not going to go there just yet. Let him do his little job. My Juliets. If you want a high yield tomato, Honey Delights and Juliets. Juliets are a miniature Roma, and you really will not be let down. They are a very high producer. If you can get an idea of how tall my sunflower is, there is no head formed on it yet, so it's still got a ways to go. These here are starting to put their heads out, and they're little bitty. Oh, and see all the lemon boys. There's another bunch getting ready to form there. And see how I prune the leaves off the bottom? And I'll keep doing that all the way up and keep the suckers pruned down. And every time I do that, I get more tomatoes on the vine, another bunch of tomatoes. So it works for me. I call it air pruning. I don't know what the technical term is for it. Gardening really isn't rocket science. My grandparents, I garden the way they do. They didn't use mulch. They didn't use store-bought fertilizer. They did not compost, manure. They didn't do any of that. And I even asked my mom, because she grew up on the farm and taking care of the garden. And she said they never. All they did every year in the early spring, they'd go out and plow it up and they'd plant their seeds. And it was always just plain old dirt, just like what I do. And it fed families of 8 and 9 all summer, plus the food during the winter. So I did a couple experiments, my little okra berms, I call them, where I did throw yard debris and kind of like a little miniature compost. That corner over there all winter long I did compost there, and I threw leaves in there, I threw my yard clippings, I threw small wood chips and sticks and that throughout the winter time. All the vines from the plants from the season that had died and I pulled up all went out over there, and I turned them in. My coffee grinds, my eggshells, and my banana peels all went in that corner there. And this is the second year for this corner. And oh, there's my measuring stick. And this corner right here is about a 6 foot by 6 foot section. And I lasagnaed it last year just to test it out and try it out. Oh, Laura, I want you to see my carrots are growing. So, yay, I have carrots. And I don't know what to do about my potatoes. I'd never grown potatoes before, and I did what Mom said that they did, but she asked me why I didn't put them in some kind of bucket. So yeah, that might be a fail. Oh well, I know next year, right? Oh, I gotta come out here and pick some beans. So yeah, this is how I garden, and a lot of people get taken aback when they see my light soil and they don't see many wood chips or mulch or nothing like that. Well, I put straw on it on my strawberries, my kale and lettuce during the winter time, and I will actually cover the whole bed with straw during the winter. And when I do my ferro rod handles, I sit out here and I strip the bark off, and it goes into here. And you know, my food scraps, I throw those in here. Coffee grinds, I set all that. So I do a little bit more than what my grandparents ever did. And you know, it works for me. I can't afford all the expensive tests, soil tests, and you know, buying truckloads of prepared mulch. And then with mulch, if you're not careful around here where you get it from, then you got a whole new issue of bugs. And you know, my house is brick and frame, so I sure don't want any wood pests eating on my house. So I just do it the way my grandparents did it, and I've always done it this way. I don't have black earth, but I don't have raised garden beds either. I have 1,100 square feet between this garden and the conspiracy garden, which I actually downsized this year. So I get a lot of food from here. It's enough to feed one person, maybe even 2 people, all winter long from what I get. And I know all fall long. So this is why I do it this way. Number 1 is money. Number 2 is I do what worked for my grandparents. It fed my parents and their siblings. Fed me when I was growing up, and it was how I was taught to garden. However, I do them in my soil more than what either of my sets of grandparents did. So there you go, there's the update, and sorry if I got wordy and lengthy and bounced around. Father's Day, spend time with your dads. Show them that you love them and appreciate them. Those that your dads are still around, or if you're like me. Mine's no longer here. Miss him every day. There's something every day that I wish I could ask him, or wish he was here to help me do. And just don't ever take your parents for granted, or the people you love, because in a heartbeat they can be gone, and you might not get a second chance. So, y'all have a beautiful day, blessed day. Remember, our boys and girls deployed around the world. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger. As always, think of a NativeTearz, and this is my sunflower and garden update for this week. I'm trying to get it to where I can show you how tall they are. There we go. That's Justin and Jana's, and mine are about half the height, a little less than half the height. Got all kinds of pretty flowers going on. Snapdragons, dianthus, cilantro, snapdragons. Oh, look at those. They remind me of fire. And these have started blooming. Yeah, my lemon mint and chocolate mint's going crazy. I have been harvesting seeds, and I have a ton of seeds for giveaways. Let's go over to the truck patch. And I have zinnias. This is still at the conspiracy garden, and look how pretty those yellows are, and the delicate pink. And I do have some cucumbers on the vine. Yay! It's a baby cucumber. Oh, I can't wait. And a bug.